Hi, we are Suburban Self-Reliance. I'm James,
And I'm Wendy.
and we just thought we would start this YouTube channel for people who are living in a suburban, not quite city environment, but suburban environment, not homestead. There's a lot of people out there who just flat can't have homesteads. We decided to make this channel because after watching all of the homestead channels and all of uh, the homestead magazines and books and everything, and they talk about the massive commitment that it actually takes to have a homestead. So we have jobs. I have a career. Wendy has a career, and that's our income. But there's a lot of people out there that are exactly like us, that they want to have their careers still, their jobs, but they feel like they need to they want to be more self-reliant. They want to be more prepared, but the self-reliance is huge with people. So a little bit about us. A few years ago, probably 6 8 years ago, we went and started on the path of managing our money a whole lot better, and that's a lot of it right there, is just managing your money. We stopped going to restaurants and spending. Here was the big thing. When I finally realized how much I had to work to pay for like a dinner at a restaurant. Last night we went to just a bar and grill local here, and we walked out of there, and with a tip it was $40. And on the way home I said, "Do you realize how much I had to work to pay for that dinner?" And of course we don't do that very often anymore, and we used to at one point in time. So, not to stray too much from the subject, but a lot of people, they start out with, "I don't know that I can afford to do this or that," and we decided a long time ago that if it wasn't it's not an issue of is it in the budget or not. It is, do I really need this? Because when you start looking at something of how much it costs, how much you have to work to pay for something, then all of a sudden you go, "Well, I really don't need that." So where I'm going with that is, yes, you can afford it. You really can afford it. There's a whole lot of things you cut out. Subscriptions, and we're not going to go down that path, but you can make it happen if you really want to. So where I'm leading with that is, we ended up being able to pay off our house, and so we have no debt at all. I don't have a spectacular high paying job, and neither does Wendy. But in fact, our financial advisor that handles our investments and stuff says that we're rare, and that shouldn't be the case. That shouldn't be the case at all. So that's really is kind of the first step in self-reliance, is getting your money situation in order. If you've got any kind of debt, credit card, whatever like that, I want to caution you before you spend a huge amount of money on anything else to get rid of that debt. So that be number one. We drive old cars. I have a 1999 car. She has a 2010. Mine is over 200,000, and hers is approaching it. Could we have the cash to be able to buy brand new cars if we want? I don't want a brand new car. I don't want to have anything to do with those rolling space shuttles. I really, really don't. And so I like my old car. It has one computer. It was made in Japan, not China, and it doesn't have 60 computers. It has one. And so, it's basic and simple, and we found that we really like that. So anyway, the purpose of this channel is to help those people who maybe live in a suburban, maybe an urban, but a suburban environment. Now, if you're in an apartment, if you're deep in the city or something like that, sure, you'll be able to take away a lot of things that we have on this channel here. But there are a lot of good YouTube channels out there that help people that are really city locked. They have no yard. They don't have anything, and there's special YouTube channels for you. So we encourage you to stick around and see what we have for you. But we're going to be covering topics such as gardening. We have we probably have about a quarter of an acre all total. We've been blessed to have a nice little house. And we actually went from the big house after the kids grew up. It was a 2,500 square foot, 2,800, something like that, to a house that is 1,238 square feet. In fact, the garage is almost as big as the house, which is nice. It's a blessing for that. So we have a shop out there and so on like that. But we want to take you guys through a lot of things, and then we've got a list of things that we'll be covering. Why don't you cover some of those?
Sure. So yeah, gardening is one of them. We've done quite a bit with raised beds and we've specialized in tomato
Mhm.
gardening a lot, and
Had 48 plants last year, and I think we're going to have 48 this year too.
along with a lot of other good plants. And we're still kind of new to it all, but doing some herbs and so on as well. We do freeze drying, so we have a little bit of experience there, and enjoy some of the rewards of being able to cook from freeze dried foods, and it's a lot of fun.
We've been freeze drying now for about 3.5 years.
Yes. So there's quite a lot of different variety of things here. CBs, James is into, and we have a strong faith base, and we want to. That's not the main focus of this channel, but it's not going to be kept hidden either. We will talk about our faith in the Lord, and we want to honor Him through this channel. So,
when she says CBs, that's CB radios. You may have, some of you may, your dads or your grandfathers may have had CB radios in the past, in the 70s or whatever like that. It may be the 80s, and it kind of faded from the public eye for a long time, but it's made a roaring comeback. And so that's something that we'll be talking about too. We're very big in alternate communications. So I'm not interested in having my ham license. I know there's a lot of people that say that it's, there's just various reasons why I'm not going to do ham. But I have a GMRS license. That's the test for a GMRS license is navigating the complicated government website, and it's bad. But there are YouTube channels that can help you navigate through those. So, but we believe firmly in alternate communications, and so we'll cover that.
Yeah. Another area that I'm growing more into is sewing. I've had a lot of experience in the past, and then set it aside for a long time. But getting back into it some now, and just doing my own little projects. Is kind of fun. So, and then another area that I've gotten into is making my own soap.
Mm-hmm.
And I love doing that, getting away from the harsh chemicals that are in a lot of the store brands, and I want to have healthy products that we use in our home, and some of our family is enjoying those as well. So,
as a note, Wendy has taken on a kind of a crusade of having healthier products in our house all around, from just a hand soaps, laundry detergent. I mean, on and on and on. And we're not going to be promoting any one certain brand or anything like that. So we may, at some time in the future, there may be sponsors that kind of tag on and might have a product or something like that we believe. We will be making recommendations of things that we use, and we'll put maybe links or something like that, and that'll just be a bone thrown out to that company because we believe in them. We're not going to be getting, usually we will probably not have any kind of an affiliate link or anything, but if we believe in a product, we'll probably post a link.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so we've branched out in a lot of different areas. We're not experts by any means in a lot of these. So, but we do have some experience, and we'd like to be able to share some of that with you all.
I come from a mechanical background, family business. We're not going to get into a whole lot of that because the last thing we want is comments with how do you fix this or that. We may touch on a few things like that, but there's tons of videos out there on how to repair this or that, and so we'll stay away from a lot of the specifics and stuff. Yeah, go ahead.
Another area is a little bit on prepping. I mean, we do freeze drying, as I said earlier, and so we do some food storage. But there's a lot of other areas of in that whole realm of prepping that we do. Not that this is what this is all about, but we do have some experience there. We've been doing it for a long time. So
we actually started preparing as far as food storage and so on in 2008, and had a chance to pull a lot of that out in storage and eat those foods and replace them and stuff like that too. And we don't want this to be a prepping channel per se. There's a lot of those out there. There's a lot of good channels out there, but the YouTube is pretty flooded with those, and so we don't want to be that type. We want to be the type of channel where people can say, hey, I just need to be more self-reliant. I want to be able to do what's good for my family. Our daughter homeschools, so we'll probably do a little bit on that, might interview her or something like that. Mm-hmm. To kind of go through the list here too, we just kind of we got a long list of things that we have been, it's been stacking up for years, and we thought we just want to share it with people on things that they can do. So rehydrating what we freeze dried. A lot of people are like, how do you rehydrate this stuff? What do you do with it? So we'll be talking with that along those lines too. Alternative cooking. We've got a lot of different ways for alternative cooking, and where we live, we've actually had a lot of power outages. You wouldn't think, but we do. We have a lot of power outages. We live in a funny neighborhood where you got houses built. I think the oldest is 47, all the way up to multi-million-dollar houses, and we're all in the same half-mile area of each other. So it's a very interesting area. So, but we lose power. It's interesting. So we'll be talking about alternative ways to cooking, alternative ways for heating and stuff like that. So, and then another one that I'll be talking about is Project Appleseed. Project Appleseed is a very important organization to us, and so we're not going to be touching on that now or anything like that. But anyway, this is kind of an introductory video just to kind of start out. I realize that it's simple, and we want to keep it simple. We're not going to be doing a whole lot of whiz bang, with the musics and banners, and there's not going to be any clickbaits and so on like that. We realize that this channel may never be monetized, and that's fine with us. We just want to be able to get this information out to those people who are saying, where do we start? What can we do? I have a job. I cannot be a homesteader. I can't leave all this. We get you. We totally get you. That's where we were too, because we were feeling depressed about, well, there's no way that we can go to South Dakota, which we would love to do, and just have a homestead. Most people that buy a homestead, they leave their jobs and they and they start a homestead, fail within, if not the first year, usually within about 6 months. And some people make it out to about 3 months and they quit. What people don't understand is most people that had, when the society was on the farm, people had 8 to 10, 14, 16 kids to run the farm. And when you head off as a couple and go to start a homestead, whoops, the kids are not there. And they're not coming to that magnitude. And so that the homestead fails. And we've seen a lot of homesteads that for sale, chickens included and cows included and everything. Just please take it off our hands. We don't want that to happen to you. So we know that you can do this though, and you can get where we are, and we have not arrived by any means, but we just want to be able to help you to do that. So welcome to Suburban Self-Reliance. We just hope that we can help you, and maybe together we can grow. We're always open to comments. Please be positive in your comments. If it's even starts out to be critical, we don't read it. But if it's positive, we can have a great interchange. And yes, we will read the comments. So anyway, with that, we'll just go ahead and sign off. This is James and
Wendy.
And we just want to help you be more self-reliant.